what you brought up about how everyone's an artist and the creative pursuit, because I myself am a musician, and my creative pursuit is what drives so much in my life, and is this huge platform for growth, you know, and it scares the shit out of me all the time. And you know, and I keep doing it, you know, because I think a lot of it is kind of counter to things I'm comfortable with, you know. I'm comfortable being analytical, and like, you know, all my life I've been rewarded, like, you know, yeah, you memorize these things, you take these tests, and this is what you should do. This is, you know. And then the creative world can be so scary for me, but I think that's why I'm so drawn to it at the same time. I've reached this point recently where I feel creatively a little stagnant, you know, or a little, I reject things so quickly. I try to create, and then I'm just, you know, I judge it, and I just, you know, it's not good enough, or, you know, I feel like I set the bar too high to let things develop, or, you know, and I don't know if that's a result of, you know, being trained, being taught by people. You know, I went to school for music, and, you know, compared myself to other people. You know, professors compared me to other people. You're placed with people that are around your level.
Of course.
And I'm just curious what advice you might have for someone in my position, and like, you know, maybe me as sort of an example for a lot of other artists in this room or in the world who, you know, maybe face a similar struggle.
100%. When it comes to unleashing your creative artistry, as if that's a part of your life, when it's time for you to make music, you're stagnant because there are rules in your mind. Now, a lot of artists don't make enough time for their art to have a safe space where there's no rules. So they live a life where all their life has no rules, which doesn't work. So your analytical mind is there to create some boundary and balance to keep you grounded. That's excellent. But your creative side needs a space in your life where you shut the doors, and when it's time to be creative, there are absolutely no rules but what wants to come through you. And your only job as a meditation is whatever comes to you, you say yes. So if you want to unblock your creativity, you have to just start saying yes to what wants to come through you, and not have an idea of what it's going to look like, not get your pre-approval of what's going to happen. You have to surrender to it. In the same way that when the divine masculine surrenders to the divine feminine, he doesn't know what's going to happen when the merging occurs. It feels like I'm kind of going to die, and I don't know what's about to happen, but your job is to say yes and dissolve into the one you're merging with. Your divine feminine right now is your art. So you have to embrace what is embracing you, feel the part of you that is dying and may not make the journey, and you got to dive in and say yes. And when it comes to your creativity, there are absolutely no rules but what is arising and moving through you. What does that feel like when you hear me say that? This is the first part.
Okay, first, that feels good, but it's a little foreign to me. I guess it's foreign to me.
Yeah.
You know?
It will always be foreign to you because creativity, like insight, comes from a dimension in which you have not been trained to exist in. So you're never going to know enough to be comfortable with this. You're just going to have to bring it through and bring it through. I bring through what a transmission of energy. This is part of my art. And when I started doing this teaching, it wasn't until the year 7 of my career that I actually started to trust it. It wasn't until year 14 out of the 15 years I've been doing this that I was able to 100% trust it. The one thing that happened, though, is I never stopped performing. I didn't take myself out of this waiting to be perfect, then step forward. You have to grow on stage. You have to let your art mature you. So this is not I pull back and I wait till I'm the polished artist and then I come out. You have to grow on stage, because when you grow through your art, your audience can then see themselves in you.
Right.
So don't be perfect. Be authentic and relatable. You don't need to know anything for that.
Yeah.
It will always feel foreign. It will feel like you're talking out of your ass. So what's coming through you is just, what am I even doing? Because your ego has no role in this. So it doubts. it gets intimidated. Your ego's either the one that goes, I say no to that and tries to dominate, or it goes, oh my God, that's beyond me and I'm intimidated. It plays either side of the game. Your job is to say, this is foreign because I'm channeling universal harmonics from a dimension in which I cannot mentally understand or fathom. Your only job is to trust and to confirm the fact that anything coming through you is only from divinity, light, and goodness. To trust so deeply that your job is to say yes before any option is given with no questions asked whatsoever. Now, that when it comes to your art, that's how we play it. When it comes to other areas of life, we do a little thinking.
Yeah.
So now I'm not saying every area of your life,
Yeah.
right? But I'm saying when it comes to your art, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be relatable, and you have to allow all the cracks and all the creases to be put into your art. Because if you were already the most perfect expression of your most essential music talent, people would go, wow, he's really good. And then they would yawn and walk away. What people want to see from an artist when I'm on stage, and I'm sharing personal stories about my life and I'm funny and everything, my job as an authentic storyteller is to bleed. So I want you to put yourself into your music and bleed and take everything within you and put it into sound and let the world know what the hell you've survived, and bleed creatively, and you will let the soul out and you will transform this world with your art.
Wow.
You feel that?
Oh yeah.
Good. That's where I want you to be. Because I feel what's within you, but there are just too many rules, too many, and I get the education, that's wonderful. I've been educated by the universe. I have channeled more healing processes and I've forgotten them all. Because in the moment, it's whatever I need it to be, right? And you get to a point, even in intuition, you learn to be so intuitive where you don't even have to be intuitive. That's the weird. I'm intuitive enough where I don't even have to be intuitive sometimes. And you get so in the flow of your mastery and your skill where you actually transcend every rule you've been taught just to bring through something that no one has even seen or heard.
That's really great. That reminds me of a quote I've heard, and I don't know who said it, but
Right.
it's something to the effect of like, learn everything you can and then get on stage and forget everything.
Forget
you
it.
can.
Forget it.
Yeah.
Because what people want to see on stage is someone with the courage and audacity to be totally vulnerable about where they're at, to give the audience permission to feel what they're hiding. Our job is to get on stage and be honest and to bleed. When I say bleed, it is to just take what's within you and share it in the most honest way. The most honest, not self-indulgent, but honest, just here's where I'm at. And what happens is when you start to really do this, you stop watching you. Because that's the thing I feel with you, is that you watch you. So you have to get so present with your art that you stop watching you. And then you stop projecting onto you this imaginary peanut gallery that no one's even thinking. Oh, I hit this note, oh, no one's thinking this.
Right.
Right? So you have to get so present with your art that you stop watching you, that you let go to the point where you almost feel like you're about to black out and holy shit, what's about to happen? And I might blink, I'll be naked on stage, what happened? But you have to ride that edge. And
Sounds like a rock musician.
right? Yes, exactly. Well, you know, there is a power inside of you that wants to come out. And no matter what genre you want to bring forth, what music do you do? Just I'm curious.
Like pop, rock, and funk.
Dude. Let's do it. Dude, I love it. But it's, and in addition, what I'll tell you, what will really help you, and this is very functional, intuitive advice, do you know what will actually help you get really in tune with your creativity and actually make it easier to perform?
What's that?
Yoga. Because you have to become more embodied. Because when you get on stage, it's either your embodiment is dancing out your art for the people, or the lack of embodiment is the stage becomes your giant mind that you're performing in. And yoga will get you out of that. It will break the glass ceiling and it will get you into you so that you can bring forth you. You have to get out of your way so that you can bring you through. Some people say, oh, I got out of my own way. That's half of it. You're getting out of your own way so that you can come through. That's the full circle, right? I got out of my way, so what comes through instead? Me.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. So yoga will get you more in your body, the trust of knowing I just, on a creative level, say yes to bringing it through. You don't worry about what anyone else is doing. You stay true to the art that wants to come through you. The what I do on stage as a spiritual healer, as a transmitter of consciousness, as an awakener, I do things that come through me, and I let the world tell me they've never seen what I do before. I let the world tell me the magic I do. I do what satisfies me. I do what I think needs to be done at the level of healing that everyone deserves it. If I'm going to call myself a healer, I want to be able to snap my fingers and do something that looks like magic, because that's what the world deserves. And if I can't perform at that level, why the hell am I on stage? So you have to put yourself into a position where you're here to bring through what no one else can do, and you're just going to get on stage and be true to that. So whatever you have inside, share on stage. You know, a lot of people that do the work I do, or the work that Brandon does, or music and art and all the things that we do, a lot of people want to work on themselves and wait and come out once they're perfect. But people can't relate to that. Everyone's trying to be perfect, and all they're doing is suppressing the perfect artist that expresses itself through heartache, through pain, through embarrassment, through humiliation. And the true artist is the one that lets people in on the things that we're afraid to show other people. Be that artist.